Hey guys, this is Laurel with the Dabbling Hook. How are you guys doing? I think it's been like a month, a little over a month since I was last around. And I'm in a standing position again. Just making a quick catch-up video. I don't know when I will be back. I said that last time, and it's definitely the case. And I'm fighting the light, so I may have to pause to go turn on supplemental light at some point. Yeah, what's been going on? Well, I'd mentioned last time that there was medical emergency. That medical emergency, and you're going to hear life noises because Minion 2, picked recording time, as they like to do. My mom had a stroke, and yeah, turned life upside down, let me tell you, as these things tend to do. So I have been living in two places basically since that happened, traveling back and forth. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So yeah, that's where I've been. That's where I'm going to continue to be for a while. Yeah, it's those things happen, I guess, and you just gotta roll with those punches, and those punches hurt right now. So yeah, it's been, since last fall, it's been a miserable time for us. And we just got more not so great news just today, so about other family members. So, life. So that's where I've been. Yeah, I did the quick video because I was driving to go clean out my desk, and I figured I'd just turn on the camera because it was a long, quiet drive, not like it normally is, and I was not complaining about that, but I figured I'd test out, those on-the-road videos, so who knows, I may do that again. So yeah, I'm traveling between, I live outside of Boston, and I travel between there and Boston. My siblings and I take turn taking care of my parents right now, so that's life. That's going to be life for a while. So what does that mean for yarn? Well, first, my elbow in the midst of all of that started being quite rude, and I knew it was coming. I felt it, and I kind of ignored it for a long time, and I just kept powering through, and that was a mistake. And about a week and a half ago, I think, just with all the stress and everything, it just it started about 2.5 weeks ago, but a week and a half ago, it was saying, nope, not happening. People walking their dog. I've got the blinds open to try to maximize the light, but I think I'll definitely have to pause and turn it on. But anyway, yeah, so my elbow kind of, told me to stop. So I had to stop. It was really hurting. But it's getting better. I've been able to finish a few things in bits and pieces, so I'm going to pause and I'll be right back. So my camera stand that I was using, it was really a boom mic stand that was perfect to put the camera on, and I also used it to record because it was able to go over my table. Parts of that broke, so I bought this clamp-on thing to the desk, but it's very wobbly, so if you see things moving, that's what that is. So yeah, I finally washed the sweater I'd knitted and finally sewn in all the ends. So it just felt so soft and cozy after it was washed. I've never done a garment other than a cowl in Thick and Quick, and yeah, the ones I have, I don't think I don't have one of my own, so I've never washed a garment type thing, and it's gotten quite soft and quite cozy. So oops, bulge, I've got my shirt underneath, so yeah. So I had it on yesterday because it was a little chilly. Today it started off wet and gray, and then the sun did totally come out. Hopefully I would have put in some pictures of the gloriousness of fall, the only good thing about fall around here. So yeah, it's on, and I think I'm going to be wearing it with long sleeves under it for a while now. And I'm actually itching to cast on something, but I have a lot of chunky number 5 yarn that I've dyed that I think I'm going to try to put it all together. So I'm going to pause because I'm going to take that off and I'll be right back. Okay. All right. So I'm also wearing my, this is the Rikke hat that I knitted a while ago, and it's in the Sharon, is it Sharon? Or is it Line Brand? The cupcake yarns, but it's the chunky cupcake, and I love the speckling that's on it. So I knitted a hat out of that, and it's perfect right now because my hair, it's like half done. The rest of it's not. It's just in a ponytail, loose ponytail. I don't have time. So, yeah, that's one for yarn. The other thing that I finished that everyone, I have a pile here, so I'm just going to pick up what's up first, is everyone that participated. How cool was it that that everyone, or so many people I should say, participated in Z's Cal for her birthday. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better. So my contribution was I latte'd it. I wanted to give the Craft Smart, the new yarns. When I had gone to Michael's looking for something other than yarn, and of course you got to walk down the yarn aisle, and there was an older one and a new one next to it, and the difference was a world apart. So I think I bought like 6. They're all tweedy. 3 of them were colors, and 3 of them were beige and grays. And if I had used them all, it would have been way too big. So I started off with this, I think it's called Claret. I'm not sure. And I'm also hoping my phone doesn't die because I'm running out of space on my phone. I need to delete some apps. But this one here, and I don't know if you'll see it, it's coming out way redder on screen. Nope, it's not focusing because of the terrible light. But it's darker than that, and it's a tweedy color. And then in between, I used the roasted tomato latte cakes. And this is one of the grays, the darker of the grays that I bought. Also tweed. And then this was something gray. Hang on. I started writing notes, and I started trying to reorganize my yarn. What is it called? Gray Velvet is what it's called. Latte cake. And then this golden color, I forget what the color name was, but it's my favoriteest one, of course, because it's goldy yellow. And then I didn't have any yellow, any latte cakes with yellow, so I just threw in Claret because it had the kind of roasted tomato shades and something lighter. So it is huge. If I had kept going, the other colored speckly that I bought was a navy blue one. So I didn't use that, and then I have 2 other, I have the beige and a lighter gray speckles that I didn't use. But that new Craft Smart is well worth. It's so much softer. It's like night and day, 2 different yarns, so it's huge. I think it was 90, this ended up being 91 inches. Oh, and I'm just banging things because it's so long, it's huge. It's like getting the biggest hug ever, so can't complain. And I can see I'm getting so much more shadows, so I'm gonna drop things. There's no rhyme or reason, this is just a quick catch up. The other thing I did for SisLove Cal for October, I'll put up the picture of, no, for September, I'll put the picture up. I ended up doing, I'm not sure if I showed this one, but if I did, I'm doing it again. And this is the Victrina beanie, my pattern, available on Ravelry and Etsy. So I mixed it with, what did I mix it with? What did I mix it with? I don't remember. I'll have to put it on the screen. I want to say I mixed it with Nope, can't tell you. No idea. Oh, it was a, what do you call them? Lux Lolly? Ooh. That's what it was. It had all the shades in there. And this, I don't know if you can see it, it's actually a darker green, almost a bluish green, but a darker green in between here. So anyway, poor lighting. I will stick on a picture. And then I had this pink pom-pom. I've done a tutorial on how I do my faux fur pom-poms. And this is one of them I had just sitting there. So yeah. That was September. In October, which was all the fall colors, which was awesome, I used Woolike in 3 different colors, and they were just perfect for the picture. And this is my Nora's showing you the back. Nora's hat. Oops, excuse me. I had a little bit of the yarn left, so I made a flower. But loops and threads, Woolike, I held triple. I also have a tutorial, I think, of how to turn worsted into super chunky with that Z, you know, the way you pull it through. So I used that, and so you could use any yarn and just, you know, change the weight of it. So the Woolike is like a number 1, I think, fine. So I think it turned it more into like a worsted weight. But it's so soft. I forgot how soft it is. But yeah, and I just added a different edging than in the pattern. In the pattern I just have a crab stitch, but I just did something different, and it's so hard to see in this terrible light. I tried for earlier, but you know, life got in the way. Other thing I finished, I finally finished the knitted version of the Empower bandana. It was slow going. I used I think it was Loops and Threads Woolike again in, I think the color is lavender. But, oh, I gotta turn lights on. I added in, give me a second. Okay. Look at that. My hair is just doing whatever it wants. Anyway, I don't like the night light. But anyway, I added in, I was getting tired of the lavenderish purple color. So I needed to break it up to keep my interest to finish. Plus it was, you know, skinny yarns, even though I think I doubled. Did I double or tripled? I think I tripled this as well. So I added some Boutique Unforgettable in, I think the color is Petunia. So in the beginning, I just did every other row. Yeah, no, 2 rows of purple, 2 rows of the Boutique, and then I started doing that again here, and then I got bored with that, and then I just held the Woolike with the Boutique Unforgettable together here to finish it off. Yeah, that's it, and seamed it, and it's awesome. Nice, cozy, just something little for a little color. Not my color schemes. I was trying to stay within, you know, the purple theme, but that's finally done. Now, the other thing isn't a finished object, but it's a, how would I say? It's a boo-boo. It's a boo-boo because, so I had shown this where I'd finished a new hat for Minion 2, because he likes to sleep with his hat on. And he'd said it was a little tight, but it would have stretched because now his fro is massive. But I put it in the wash, you know, to soften it up a bit, and do you want to see what happened? Look at that. So I think there's a, not think, on the outside, on the inside of the door of the dryer, a little piece of it broke. So this, I think, got snuck. This got stuck on there, and it was so tight, like you can't see the line, but there's a line here where this, some of it is still so twisted I can't untwist it, but with all the spinning it just twisted, and it was just cinched so tight, and I was afraid of just, you know, yanking it and breaking threads and it unraveling, but a lot of them are still twisted, and I'm going to have to, I think I've stretched it as much as it will go, so I will just tie any ends that I can or sew in any ends that I can. But it's still a nice cozy warm hat, and thankfully it's just on the inside, so no one will ever know once you tuck all that in. So my dryer had issues. What else? So my niece, my husband's niece, her birthday was last month, and I completely forgot with everything going on. And then I forget what I was looking at, and I saw a cake. I'm like, oh, I can just make her a cake, not bake her a cake, make her a cake. And I was making it, and with everything else, and my elbow, everything was going slow, and I wasn't able to finish. Look, I still have my stitch marker on here. With all the stitch markers I have, all the fancy ones, the ones I go to the most are these. These are the, I think, the clover ones. They're opened. They're similar to the Knit Picks, but Knit Picks ones are a little smaller, and these are more flexible, and the Knit Picks ones are more sturdy. But anyway, I saw a cake, and I'm like, oh, I can make her one. So I did. I sort of followed a pattern for the cake. Of course, that's not showing. I'll pop in a picture because my light is absolutely horrible. And the stand, I sort of followed the pattern stand, then I went off on my own because it wanted you to make 2 pieces and sew it, and I wasn't about that life, so I did what I needed to do. And the top, this dripping part, I did differently. It's totally not like theirs. It's not even a full piece. Hers is a full piece that goes on top. This is just sewn around the sides, and the top is a flower that I just added. This is like popcorn stitches here, and then I sewed a flower on top. So not the best lighting to show everything, but it's what we got. And then the other thing I made, everyone was making pumpkins. I'm like, oh, I have pumpkins somewhere. I just have no idea where they are. I have some that I got from work when I cleared my desk, but I had others and I don't know where I stored them at all. So I decided to make a pumpkin, and wasn't following any particular pattern, and I was doing, what was I doing? I forget what stitch I used. You can't see it. So basically I winged it. Ooh, the lighting is so terrible, and the white is blowing it out. So the leaves are in a charcoaly color, and then that. Let me see if I can do anything about the light. Moved it closer. I don't think it made a difference, and it is right in my eye. But my other make, I think that's my last one, or at least that I can remember. It's a pumpkin that I just did. No pattern. I actually used, I wanted it to go quick, so I didn't want to do single crochet, and I wanted it to have a little size to it. So I used the linked double crochet instead to make it a little more solid, less gappy. And then I just, once I closed it, I just picked up stitches around, and it looks like it has a witch's hat on, but I just picked up stitches around and just winged the stem. So yeah. That is my pumpkin. I was trying to record earlier, and I had to finish work stuff first and lost light. So I had my drink all set and ready, and I was drinking out of the glass that Seta sent me. Oop. Can't see what it says, but it says, so brunch fun. I had my cranberry and wine in here, but it's all gone. All right, last but not least, I had a good surprise, a nice surprise in the midst of all this. Someone, Miss Naomi Torres, messaged me on Instagram and said, oh, she was in Joann's, and she was pleasantly surprised to find me in a magazine. I'm like, what? I'd completely forgotten about it because they had reached out to me, and I gave all the information, and I hadn't heard from them. So I didn't know if it was still going to happen, when it was going to happen, or anything. So I completely forgot about it until she said that. I'm like, what? So I had a little blurb feature corner in Crochet Now magazine. This is issue number 59, and I got a little feature, which is totally cool, and it was such a nice surprise. So thank you, Naomi, for brightening my day, for one, and thank you, Crochet Now, for the feature. And I'm on the same page with Brittany of Bee Hooked Crochet. The other person, I'm not sure who she is, but and I haven't looked it up, but hey, look at that. Who would have thunk it, huh? And the octos are front and center. Yeah, I was like racking my brain. I don't have a good picture. I'm in like sweats and a hat and my hair's undone. I had no picture. I was going through everything, and then I'm like, you know what? Put on your favorite color, put on a little lipstick, and the octos were sitting around, so that was a spur of the moment thing, and it worked out. So, and I could not find this magazine anywhere. I went to 3 Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Barnes & Noble's. Nope. Barnes & Noble's, they had the next issue out, and they said if the next issue's out, they've already gotten rid of anything from the old issue. So I couldn't find this anywhere. So Naomi graciously, she graciously was able to find a copy and sent it to me. Let me tell you, my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, they were on the hunt. Even my father-in-law got into it to find the magazine, but I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll just get a digital copy. But yeah, so thank you, Naomi, once again. And on that note, I'm sure I've forgotten a whole bunch of things. This video is going to look awful because of the lighting, but that's where we are. I think if I had sat down, it would have been a lot more shadows, so I'm uncomfortable with this position and the light in my face. So yeah, what else? That's it. Just life happening and continue to happen, and we're just gonna roll with those punches. So I will talk to you guys God knows how long. Oh, by the way, I did make some bags. Hang on one second, and hoping my camera doesn't stop on me. I'll be right back. Thank you to everyone, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Anyone who's purchased my bags, I so appreciate it. It tickles me even when the bag has to go somewhere far. One went to Australia and one went to Guam, and I'm like, oh, get out. So it's cool. So I think all the previous bags that I'd made have gone, I think. Nope, all but 2. I think. I don't even remember what I did. 1, 2, 3, yeah. I think I have 2 of these colorful mushrooms left in the shop. And I only did drawstring bags because I noticed that those do a lot better than the zipper bags. So stay tuned. I may the zipper ones that are there, I may put on a little sale for the zipper ones. So keep an eye out. This is the only announcement I'll make about it, just because I don't have time. But I did do some fall bags. A couple of them have already gone. Miss Pearl Clutcher, you know who you are. Thank you. She was the first one to snag one of them. So, I did a few two-tone bags because I bought these fabrics and I just love them together. I don't know why, but I did some two-tone ones with a brown and black plaid at the bottom, or checkered, I guess, at the bottom, and these fall theme leaves. These remind me more of, you know, when the leaves are more dried and the last leg kind of colors. And sorry about the horrible lighting. So there's one left of that. One just went out. Excuse me. There's a regular one without the two-tone in the same color. I have Oop, timber. I had two of these, one went. So again, the two-tone with the big, beautiful fall leaves. That's what outside looks like right now, these bold colors. And it's got some swirls with glitter on them. There's one of that. There's one, just all the leaves. I've got two of these smaller leaves. It's just the solid fabric. And then this is what was left of that. I do have little bits of scraps, but these were full bag size and I ran out, so it has a different top. Brain fog. Anyway, so that's what's there in the shop for the drawstring. Because my elbow was hurting for knitting and crocheting, so I got to, in between travels back and forth, I got to sew a little, so that's what those are. But yeah, and the zipper ones, stay tuned to see if I put those on sale, just to get them cleared out. And on that note, like I said last time, I don't know when I will be back. Might be another one of those car vlogs. That's easy enough, you know, because I'll be in traffic, or in transit, I should say. So we'll see. And I'm going to turn this light off that's blinding me. And I have some errands to run before I have to head back tomorrow. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a good rest of your week. Stay safe. Things are getting crazy out there again. Vote for whoever it is that you decide to vote. Go out there and exercise those rights and hug your loved ones. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.